What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another build video. This build video is for my latest werewolf PvP build, which is called the werewolf end boss. It's got super high health, really good weapon damage, really good resistances, powerful health recovery, and really good recoveries in general. So it's really a force to be reckoned with. Bringing back the werewolf. It's still obviously very hard to contend with very meta builds, but you can really hold your own with this build, and I'm really pleased with it. It's running some old school sets as well, so they're nice and cheap to get hold of. It is running a mythic as well, but it's performing really good. So we'll jump straight into the sets. So the first set we are running is the Elysian Order set. So this will give you 2 lines of armor, a line of health, and it will increase your health recovery by 2% of the sum total physical resistance and spell resistance up to a maximum of 1300. So I'm nearly at that bonus. I'm running a sword and bald. It's a Elysian sword with a weapon damage enchantment. It's a Nirnhone just to boost the damage, and the shield is reinforced with a max stamina enchant. The next piece of equipment I'm wearing is the Gaze of Sithis. I've got a tri-stat enchantment on this. It's heavy, reinforced for that extra armor rating. It's going to give you a 3000 health. It's going to give you another 1000 health recovery. It's going to give you 4000 armor, but it will reduce your block mitigation to 0, but you're going to be doing roll dodging rather than blocking on this build. So it's a very powerful mythic, really good for werewolves, as werewolves can be a little bit squishy if you build into damage too much. So this set goes hand in hand with the Elysian Order. So the Elysian is going to give you nearly 1300 health recovery, and the Gaze of Sithis is going to give you another 1000 on top of that. We've got a one-piece trainee just here for the extra health bonus, reinforced with a tri-stat enchantment, and this is heavy also. And the next set we are running is a forgotten set, but I still feel it's very powerful if it's all combined with these particular sets, and that is Eternal Vigor. So this will give you a line of magicka recovery, a line of stamina recovery, a line of health recovery, and it's going to add 329 stamina and magicka recovery while your health is above 50%, and also 1000 health recovery again when you're less than 50% health. So this is the shoulder piece. It's heavy again, divines. Ideally you want this impenetrable if you can. We've got Girdle of Eternal Vigor with a health enchantment, impenetrable. The hands are Elysian, heavy with a health enchantment, divines. The legs are heavy, Elysian, reinforced with max health enchantment. The feet are Elysian Sabtons with well fitted with a max health enchantment. And the jewellery is all Eternal Vigor. I've got 2 triune and 1 healthy with all weapon damage enchantments, because the recoveries are quite good on this build, so you don't really have to worry about that too much, so you can push full into damage. So we'll go through the traits. So ideally, like I said, you want the big pieces, the head, chest and legs all reinforced, and with the smaller pieces I would recommend a mixture of impenetrable and well fitted, so you can do plenty of roll dodges to avoid attacks. You're running full heavy, so this build is very tanky. Like I said, you've got very high health. I think it's around 52k, and your resistances are going to be overcapped around the 34-35k physical and spell resistance, so you're going to be very strong. And don't worry, the damage is there as well, because we've boosted everything into damage, because we are running a defensive set and a recovery set. So let's get into the actual stats. So these are the stats completely unbuffed. I'll go into werewolf form. As you can see, the health recovery is at 5k, which is incredibly high. Let's just quickly jump into the werewolf form. So it does drop to 4,265. If we pop a potion, we're going to be at 5,300 health recovery, 1,600 stamina recovery, and 1,500 magicka recovery. The health is going to be a little over 52k. The penetration is at around 4k, but you're going to get the minor and major breach on the werewolf, so you're going to be around about 13k penetration, which is very nice. The spell resistances, yeah, they're at 34, 35k. Critical resistance is just at 2100, which is very, very nice. Of note though, the health recovery will be slashed in half in a PvP environment, so it will drop down to about 2.5k health recovery. With the Eternal Vigor proc under 50% health, it will probably be touching the 3k mark. Health recovery isn't particularly used these days because everyone's running Vampire. Vampire destroys health recovery, but with Werewolf, you can utilize a health recovery. So every time you're not being attacked, you're basically going to be getting health, or when you are being attacked, sorry, every second you're going to be getting say 3,000 health back on the recovery, on top of your healing, which is very, very good. We've got 64 points into health. We're running Bewitched Sugar Skulls because again it's going to give you more health recovery. It's going to give you higher stats on all three bars on health, stamina and magicka, and you're also going to get like that extra 400 health recovery. I'm running the Lover Mundus because I don't have a lot of pen sources, so I'm putting that on just to break through people's defenses. I'm also a high elf, so it's a damage race, so again you could make this tankier, but again you've got to make sure the damage is there, so I would recommend a damage race if you can, so like dark elf, high elf, orc would be very good as well. I wouldn't say Khajiit as there's not any critical damage on this build, but we're not focusing on critical damage as such, but you can change the CP just to add a little bit of critical damage if you wish. You're just going to get the 50% base. So let's just go back, get the ultimate ready again. So we're going to the champion points. So the champion points, I've got Foresight. I do believe this is one of the best CPs for Werewolf, because after you drink a potion, the cost of your magic and stamina and healing abilities used within 6 seconds are reduced by 75%. So if you time your potions well, when you're under pressure, you proc this, you'll be able to basically heal yourself back up and roll dodge or whatever you need to do, just to get yourself back to normal. It's going to really mitigate some of the because obviously with Werewolf the sustain can be an issue, so this Foresight is absolute essential for Werewolves. It's really, really strong. I think Like a Thought Gaming recommended this CP to me, or I must have seen it on one of his videos. It is a very, very strong CP, so make sure you have this slotted. I've got Master at Arms for 6% damage done bonus to direct damage attacks. I've got a Deadly Aim for increased damage done by 6% on your single target attacks, and I've also got a Resilience just to give you some more critical resistance. But like I said, you could go Exploiter for more damage done on off balance, or you could also, if you want a bit more critical damage, you can go Fighting Finesse and Healing, but it's up to you. But like I said, we're not really building into critical damage, so, but again, if you was a Khajiit, you could then jump on top of this and then make a bit more critical damage. It would be very, very nice. So that is all the CP done, the gear done. We'll go into the skills. We're running Pack Leader. I would always recommend Pack Leader. I don't like the other morph as it does reduce your the uptime of Werewolf. It does drop off, which is very annoying. I want to stay in Werewolf form, so I do like Pack Leader more. Both morphs do increase your max stamina by 30%. You're going to take 10% less damage as well with this one, and you're also going to get minor courage, which is going to boost your weapon and spell damage. You're also going to get 15% stamina recovery bonus while slotted. We're running a Brutal Pounce, which will do a bleed damage and apply the hemorrhaging status effects. It's also going to do a bleed over time. It's also, if you stack this on your opponent, I think it's 6 times is the cap, you're going to get extra weapon and spell damage, so you can keep pressing this on top of your enemy, and you're going to be dealing more damage against them. We've got Hickory's Rage, which is your burst heal. It scales off your max health. We've got super high health, so you're going to be healing like crazy. Very, very strong heals. And if you're at full health, it's going to restore your stamina, and you're going to gain Major Berserk, which is going to increase your damage done by 10%. But you will take 5% more damage, but the trade-off is definitely worth it. You're also going to gain the Major Brutality and Sorcery, because we're not running Oaken Soul, so you want to make sure your buffs are there as well. We've got Deafening Roar, which is going to set your enemies off balance and fear them. It's going to apply Major Breach to them, and Minor Maim. Minor Maim will, so you're going to reduce the physical resistance and also reduce their damage done to you. It's going to give you the Major Prophecy and Savagery, so it's going to make your weapon critical higher, so it's definitely a must. Howl of Agony is your spammable. So this is like your main attack, and enemies who are feared or facing you are going to take 25% more damage from this attack. Very, very strong. Claws of Anguish, I'm using this. It's going to deal disease damage and disease damage over time. It's also going to afflict your enemies with Major Defile, reducing their healing received, and reduce the shield strength size as well, so it's going to make their shields weaker, and they're also hit by the disease status effects. So that's pretty much all the skills. I haven't really got anything major slotted on the actual bar before you transform into werewolf. It's really just to keep yourself alive with a few pets, a bit of healing, you know, your hardened wall. You know, you want to get into werewolf form, so make sure you and once you're in werewolf form, you can pretty much indefinitely stay in werewolf form. And what keeps this going is when you deal damage. So very, very good in Battlegrounds, you're pretty much permanently in werewolf form, and Imperial City you'll be permanently in werewolf form. Just hit NPCs and mobs in between battles just to keep it going. So let's transform and just show you how to play the build. So we'll just transform into werewolf. So the first thing you want to do is do Hickory's Rage, just to get your Major Berserk when you're in combat, and then pounce on your enemy, and then you want to hit them with the Claws of Anguish, just to do the bleed dot over time. You know, Deafening Roar them so they're off balance, and then start hitting them with the light attack Howl, heavy attack Howl, and just keep the pounce on. As you keep doing it, you'll see a number appear on it. It will say 1 and then 2. So the more you keep doing that, pressuring your enemy, you're going to be dealing more and more weapon damage against them, more damage against them. So the weapon damage on this build is touching 6k. With continuous, you're probably going to be about 6.5k weapon and spell damage, which is very, very good. Like I said, you've got about 13k pen, which is enough to cut through most enemies. Like I said, the recoveries are very high, so you won't have a problem there, like I said, but just keep in mind the health recovery will be halved, but it will probably be touching around 3k, so you're going to get plenty of healing, and like I said, you can also do crazy strong burst heals with your Hickory's Rage. Yeah, so that's pretty much the build, guys. It's a very, very strong werewolf build. I find it's got a very nice balance. You've got tons of resistance, tons of health, tons of recovery. You've got the damage there. It's just an overall excellent werewolf build. I've had a lot of fun with it. Very, very strong. You'll see in the clips I was taking a lot of hits from Tarnished Nightmare, which is that glass exploding thing, because obviously with a werewolf you're going to be a bit of a magnet for damage, because people always go for the werewolves. So like you can see that I'm absorbing tons of damage and definitely dishing it back as well. And I said with that health recovery, you're going to be getting health back all the time as well, on top of your healing. And like I said, you've got tons of stamina. Like 27k stamina is very, very nice. 23k magic is good. And like I said, you've got that once you pop your potion it's going to make your abilities really cheap. I just want to see if that says, yeah, see, it was the Hickwin's Rage, the cost was only 1200 there for that 6 seconds. So you press that potion, it's going to heal you, and then you can just spam your Hickwin's Rage till you're back to full health. Other thing of note as well, even though it is a very strong and powerful build and you can take a lot of hits, get into the use of doing your little roll dodges here and there. That's why I would recommend a couple of well fitted pieces just to reduce the cost of your roll dodge. Just avoiding attacks, keeping mobile, throwing them heavy attacks in. You've got speed, mobility. This build has everything. And I said it's a bit of an old school play style with very old sets, Eternal Vigor and Elysium, but I enjoy the combinations, very, very strong. I said that everything's giving you health recovery and just stacking that crazy. So yep, that's the end of the build section, guys. Drop this video a like if you enjoy the build. Werewolf end boss, very, very fun to play, and definitely you can go toe to toe with your enemies. Any comments, drop them in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. And stick with this video and just watch the clips of it in action, of how fun it is to play and how effective it is. And I'll see you in the next video.